Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just waiting for a few more participants to join us, and then I will start our meeting. Please make sure your microphones are muted as well. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on the Grade 9 Subject Choice Information evening. Before we get started, can I please ask everyone to please put their name, surname, and their daughter's name onto the chat so that I have a register to keep record. Right, so in the email, everyone received the agenda. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the assessments in grade 9, the promotion mark is made up of two components. We have the school-based assessment, or SBA, and that comprises of 80% of the final year mark. And then for this year, for 2020, we have the final test. Normally it is an examination at the end of the year, but this test will be set by the school. And this test is due to the COVID-related adjustments. So this will count for 20% of the end of year mark. The promotion criteria for grade 9, the learners have to get 50% in a home language, which is English, 40% in the first additional language, which is Afrikaans, 40% in mathematics, 40% in 3 other subjects, and 30% in 2 other subjects. 1 subject can be failed this year. So the subjects that Springs Girls High offers, we have compulsory subjects, which are English at a home language level, Afrikaans at first additional language level, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I've just received a message that there is no sound. Can everyone maybe indicate that there is sound on their side and see if everyone can hear me?
Indicate sound.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Thank you. Can I ask everyone to just mute their microphones again, and then I can continue? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let me continue. So the subjects that we offer, we have compulsory subjects. I see there are hands raised. I will answer questions at the end of the session. We have English at a home language level, Afrikaans at first additional language level, life orientation, and mathematics or mathematical literacy. Right, so the other subjects that we have accounting, business studies, computer applications technology, consumer studies, economics, geography, history, life sciences, physical sciences, tourism, and visual arts. Your daughters will have to choose 3 of these subjects. When it comes to changing subjects, in grade 10, only 2 subjects are allowed to be changed. In grade 11, also only 2 subjects. In grade 12, only 1 subject is allowed to be changed, but only in exceptional cases. If this is the case, then by mid-December of the grade 11 year, permission will have to be obtained from the district director in order to change a subject in grade 11 for grade 12. For mathematics, if your daughter is achieving less than 50% for mathematics in grade 9, it is recommended that she takes mathematical literacy in grade 10. She may study at a university with mathematical literacy. There are many different courses that she can go and study, such as arts, commerce, education, humanities, and law. Physical sciences and accounting need mathematics and not mathematical literacy. So there are different ways to choose subjects. These are things to consider. You need to consider what the HEIs require, that is higher education institutions. Mathematics compared with mathematical literacy. As I said before, if your daughter is achieving higher than 50%, then she should choose mathematics if she wishes. Lower than 50%, she must then choose mathematical literacy. No change in subjects are allowed from the beginning of grade 12, only if there is written permission, as I mentioned before, from the district director in the grade 11 year. University is not the only option. All your daughters will be given a subject choice form. Both choices on this form must be filled in. At least 1 subject in choice 1 and choice 2 must be different. This form must then be returned to her registered teacher by the 18th of September. Please note that your daughters have not received these forms as yet. They will be receiving them very soon. So a higher certificate entrance criteria. So if your daughter wants to study at a technical and vocational education and training college, she needs the following: an NSC certificate, which is National Senior Certificate or Matric Certificate as we know it, or a grade 9 certificate. Certain courses may require certain subjects or levels of achievement. Please note that in order for your daughter to receive a grade 9 certificate, she needs to pass grade 9. Then a diploma entrance criteria. This is to study at a University of Technology, an NSC Matric Certificate with 4 subjects that are above 40%. And again, certain courses may require certain subjects or levels of achievement. A bachelor degree entrance. This is to study at a university. An NSC is required with 4 subjects above 50%. Please note that CAT and tourism do not always qualify as one of the 4 subjects, and you must please just check with the higher education institution on what is required. Certain courses may require certain subjects or levels of achievement. Right, then, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any general questions, you are welcome to phone me, the grade tutor, Mrs. Kraus. You can also send your daughter to go and speak to Mrs. White. You can phone the HEIs to ask for advice on entrance requirements. And then you are also more than welcome to phone and discuss any questions with the subject educators or HODs. And the HODs are as following: for the humanities department, that is Mrs. McGregor. For mathematics is Ms. Nyoni. For sciences is Ms. Brown. For economic management sciences and consumer studies, there is Mrs. Garnett. Right, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any questions, please can I ask that you raise your hand or you put a question in the chat. and then I will answer the questions as I can. Ms. Tully, I see that you have your hand raised. You may unmute your mic and then ask me a question.
No, I was raising my hand that time to indicate that I can hear you. I had audio.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, are there any questions? So a question from Rafilwe, the question is it possible for us to get an emailed copy of the presentation? You are more than welcome to email me if you would like a copy of the presentation, and I will then email you the recording. Mrs. Gunnar, you have raised your hand. You may unmute your mic and ask me a question.
My question was, if I remember correctly, in the beginning of the year, they were told, or I think it's last year or the beginning of the year, they were told that they were going to write a test that was going to make them easier for them to choose, or maybe being helped to choose the subjects that they were going to choose. So my question is, are they going to still write that test, or now due to this COVID thing, it's been cancelled?
Ms. Jones, would you like to answer that question for me?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, we were going to have those aptitude tests, but because of the COVID situation, we had to postpone it, and then now we won't be able to do it because it requires the people to come onto our property and come and conduct the tests there. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do that again. We won't be able to do it for our learners this year. We are investigating options which are going to go online, but this particular company who did it for us cannot do it online for us. So that is an issue. So unfortunately, we are unable to do that at this stage.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Jones. Mrs. Maputa, you have a question. You may unmute your mic. Mrs. Maputa, can you hear me? Okay. Mrs. Maputa, if you can't unmute your mic, you are more than welcome to ask me the question on the chat function. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, any other questions that I can answer for you? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put my email address into, sorry, there is another question. Is it possible for them to fail the year? The answer is yes. There are still tests and SBAs being conducted by the school, by subject teachers, and they will still receive a report in term 3 and term 4. There's a hand raised, AKN 1309. I'm not sure of your name. You may unmute your mic.
Some of us who were not working and now we've got challenges of raising the full fees. I don't know where I can raise that one. Can I take it through to you, or I must raise it to somebody else?
That is a question that you would have to ask if you phone the school tomorrow, and then you can speak to Mrs. Bonaretti.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. As I was saying, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put my email address in the chat again, and you are more than welcome to ask me to send me an email if you would like a copy of this presentation, and I will email that to you tomorrow. If anyone else has a question, you are more than welcome to ask me.
Good day.
Yes, good evening.
Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry, I'm a bit late. I'm slightly late for the meeting. I just want to know, how long have you scheduled this meeting for? Maybe I've missed out something. Maybe I would like to talk to you privately.
It is until 6:30. You are more than welcome to ask me a question now, but you are also more than welcome to send me an email, and I will then send you the whole presentation. I have recorded the whole thing.
Okay, thank you very much.
Not
I
a
think I would
problem.
like, yeah, I think I would really appreciate your email address as well. Thank you so much.
It is in the chat if you go and look there. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I made a typing error. It is springsgirlshigh.co.za. My email address is there.
Sorry, good evening, everybody. Can I just remind everybody, please, to sign in if you haven't already done so in terms of your registration, please, so that we can see who is present and who isn't. Thanks.
Good evening. I
Good
think I'm one of those who hasn't signed since I came in late to join. I don't even know, technology sometimes can be challenging. I
Not a
don't even know
problem.
where to sign.
If you go into the chat function, I just need your name, surname, and your daughter's name, please. Just type
Okay,
it
so
there.
must I put it on the, okay, I will.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Are there any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I see a hand raised, AKN 1309. You may unmute your mic.
Maybe I missed something, but I just want to ask, are you going to choose subjects for our daughters, or they can choose for themselves?
No,
Because
sir.
some of us, we got preference for mathematics.
Your daughters are choosing their own subject with your advice and the advice that I have given them with regards to choosing subjects. They will be receiving their forms, and then they will take them home, and then you can sit with them and discuss subject choices, and they then choose their own subjects.
So my choice is final. You won't intervene on my choices.
Mrs. White, if you would like to answer that question on how subject choices work.
All right, I think I'm going to answer for that because I don't know what's happening with Mrs. White. Yeah, the subject choice is obviously is going to be your daughter's choice, and it always remains yours and your daughter's choices. We try to advise as far as possible because we are also the subject people who understand the subject, and we understand what what's required for it. So we advise, but we are not going to bully your child into taking a subject that she's not allowed to that we think she shouldn't be taking. But just with that said, I want you please to be very, very careful to say that you must choose the subject that your daughter's going to cope with. We already have had one of our failures in matric was a learner who stuck with science and maths all the way through and then eventually failed because of that. So, just be very, very careful. Obviously, you've got the choice, and we usually say to you, if you really wanted it and your daughter's not doing well in maths in grade 9, let her go through grade 10, but don't leave it too late. If she's not coping and she's tried every means possible to try to get through, and she's not doing well at her maths, and it's affecting her whole her pass and her fail status, then it is up to you to check, please, to just make sure that she chooses the right subject. We can't have her failing matric just for 2 subjects that she's not going to be able to use anyway. So that's our concern every year. We do worry about that every year because we have girls who are sometimes forced by their parents, unfortunately, to take maths and science, and it's really not something that they want to or can do. But again, it really is something that you all need to think about. You as a parent and you as the learners must consider very carefully before you put that kind of additional pressure onto the child if she's not going to be one who's capable of doing it.
Thank you. It's very clear. The choice will come from us, also with assistance of the child, and also we can consult with you if we need assistance on that.
Are the girls allowed to visit Miss Nuni during school hours just for an encouragement or a better advice, especially regarding maths?
Yes, they are, as long as it is within reason that she's not teaching. The best time to make an appointment, maybe at break, and then they can go and see her.
Is Miss Nyoni here tonight? Maybe she would like to just clarify it a little bit.
Yes, that would be appreciated.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. I had your question, ma'am. Yes, learners can come and consult, come and seek advice, encouragement from me at any time. Like ma'am has said, as long as I'm not teaching, I am more than willing to help them in any way that they need help.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say there is a message from Mrs. White on the chat. If some of you can't see it, I'll just read it for you. She says the reason for 2 subject choices is that the second choice can be used if the first choice does not fit into the timetable. Okay, ladies and yes.
Can I say something? Ma'am, I was tossing this whole today's meeting. I'm trying to understand why is it more important for us as parents to sort of be in this platform instead of maybe this be discussed with the girls themselves, or like the teachers would sort of give best advices. You probably you understand, of course you do understand how maybe a learner performs in a particular subject. So I was also trying to understand a gentleman prior, he asked, I think, the same concern that I also have, that would it not be more appropriate to sort of give them more choice instead of maybe us having to be involved or having to make a decision, you know. I'm trying to understand. Maybe I'm a bit slow, you know, regarding that, because I'm from an old school. So would it be more of their choice than it should be on our side, telling or advising my daughter to say maybe go for maths, pure maths, or maths lit, or accounts, or something like that? You know, if maybe I can just get an emphasis onto that. I understand where the role of a parent comes in with regards to schoolwork and everything that comes with. So if I can get maybe just an emphasis on that as to why is it important for us to sort of maybe help them choose, because it's first of all their interest and what they know they're good at, and the teachers, of course.
Ma'am, I understand where you're coming from. Let me just clarify that for you as well. All the subject teachers of the subjects that they would have to choose have been doing virtual presentations with all of the girls. So they've been explaining the subject to them, what it entails, what they need, what careers they could possibly go into for these, with the subjects that they choose. And all subject teachers are available for the learners to go and see them at any time. Learners have also been coming to me and asking me questions, and I've been giving them quite a bit of advice. So all girls are getting the correct information with regards to the subject, so it isn't completely on you. So they have been watching the videos from the teachers with regards to their subjects.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that clarity. Because my concern, you know, it will be more of my interest, or I would like my daughter to go for maths and science. And I mean, you just explained that one of the failures that you had was the girl who chose science, and then she was stuck with science. So I was worried to say, will it be not more of my choice than hers, and maybe the teacher's advice, because the teacher can sort of give better advice than me as a parent who's always, maybe I've got 8 to 5 a job. I'm not really sure what is it that she is good at, or she understands better, or she would like to do, instead of it being my choice, you know, to say go for maths or go for science or whatever. But thanks for the clarity.
It's a pleasure. I hope that helps you to understand. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are there any other questions? We have a few minutes left. All right, I see there is a question to explain the statement from Mrs. White about choosing a first choice and a second choice. When you receive the subject choice form, you will see that there are 2 columns, and one choice will be their first choice, and then the other columns will be their second choice, with one subject being different, just in case it does not fit into their timetable. But you are more than welcome to phone Mrs. White. Her mic is unfortunately not working tonight, and she can explain that in more detail to you about the timetabling.
Okay, I'm just going to come in there a bit, Mrs. Klaus, if you don't mind. Just about those, you get on the form. You've got obviously the subjects that you can choose, and you have to a list of subjects that you saw in the presentation, and then you have to choose 3 of those, because you already have. You have to do either maths or maths lit, so that's one of the choices, and then you have to do English, you have to do Afrikaans, and you have to do life orientation, and then there are 3 additional subjects that you have to choose. And so the first set of subjects that you choose would be what your daughter really, you know, what she really wants to do. That would be her first choice. But if, for example, it won't fit into the timetable, which often happens when we don't have, because we can't predict, so we might not have staff to have, it might be too big of a class that we won't be able to accommodate children in that. So what we would have to do then is that we'd have to go with your second choice. So your second choice must have at least one subject that's different from the first choice, but you can have other. So it doesn't have to be only one, but it must be at least one different one.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's about 5 minutes left if anyone wants to ask another question. I hear mic on. Is there a question? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if there are no other questions, would it be all right for us to end? Oh, sorry. There's another question. If your daughter wants to add an extra subject, can she? Ms. Jones, I'm going to ask you again to please answer this question for me.
Yeah, there is an option to take an additional subject if you are able to, and again, if the class sizes suit that as well. So what she would have to do is she would have to then add in or suggest an 8th subject, and then she'd have to go and speak to the teacher who's taking that subject to make sure that there is, because she won't be able to be taught in the same times as the other girls. So she'd have to literally take an extra subject, take extra time as well. So it might even be after school, where she'd have to be taught that. So that is always the down side of it, because she would have to make an arrangement with a teacher to have extra lessons in that subject as well, which might clash with her, all her other subjects interventions, but that is an option. It's an option that you must consider, again, just consider very carefully, because it does put a lot of pressure also on the girls.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to, sorry, the recording. No, unfortunately, the recording will not be available immediately for the ones who joined late. If you would like the recording, then please send me an email and I will send it to you tomorrow. For anyone who joined late, please make sure that you have signed the register, that is adding your name and surname as well as your daughter's name onto the chat. And then if no one else has a question, then I think this meeting is done. Thank you so much to everyone that attended, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
What is it about?
Ask him, Google.
What is it about?
Ask him, hang up.